All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Just gonna wait for everybody to tune in here, and we'll get right to it. Ben, good morning. Nancy, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Eric, my man, good morning. Ashley, good morning. Edgar, good morning. I'm gonna wait till 8:35 and get things popping. Relaxing, calm sounds. Good morning. Dave, so what do you like today? I'm watching Crocs. Great earnings again. So we'll get to those. Skyzen, good morning. My man. Just on. What's up, man? Desiree, good morning. Daniel, good morning. Idris, good morning. Vishnu, good morning. Don, my man, good morning. Bullets, what's going on? Can you go over GILD? Maybe 3-bar play today? Sure, we'll take a look at GILD. Good morning, everyone. Why you gotta laugh every time you say my name? It's just hilarious, man. Alright, we're gonna wait till 8:35. Let everybody kind of stroll in, tune in here. We'll keep it going then. All right. Scott, good morning. Ganesh, good morning. Dave is asking, why do you guys like GM? Excellent, excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right, a few more minutes, 2 more minutes here, and we'll get right to it. For all you wonderful people that are here, go ahead and smash the like button. There's about 26 of you. So let's get to 26 likes before we get this thing popping. And it is Thursday, so that means job report number should be out. Let's take a look at that before we get into things. No, jobless claims fell a little bit, which is a good sign, essentially. So we'll see what the market brings with that news. All right, take a look at here. All right, 8:35. So let's get right to it. 1 second. Perfect. All right, guys, so we'll start with the SPY, right? What do we got? I mean, pretty nice pullback. We held this 426, 425 support very well, and we shot up. Some people say that, oh, you know what? Let me get my handy dandy pen out before I get into it. Perfect. All right, so here we can see that we had this little left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. Essentially, you had this little neckline, oops, that broke out, and we kind of took off. So that's all fair and square. Nice little support. We held these areas, and we continue to move higher. We do have some gaps here that might want to be filled eventually, but at the moment, that is not the case. And where did we go? We came right to this level of pretty much this area right here. We hit this area right here, and we started seeing some resistance. All right, all-time highs here sitting at 454. That's the level that we kind of have to monitor. But with such a nice aggressive move up to the upside, we are starting to lose a little bit of volume here. So I think we do see some consolidation or some pullback in the days to come before we plow through this 454 level. All right. Now, don't get me wrong, we could very well plow through it and do the consolidation above that line, but some sort of consolidation needs to take place here. Okay. So we'll take a closer look into the closer time frame, and we'll take it from there. Let me erase these lines here. All right, so let me put my lines on the chart, and we go to the closer time frames. All right, so what are we looking at here? Yesterday we can see that we had this clear area of pretty much resistance, right? That 452.62 area, we struggled to get above it, struggled, constant struggle to get above that level. Now, with the jobs report number coming out, being slightly bullish here, we are getting that bounce. But where is that level that we need to monitor today? The level we need to monitor today is the 450.46 level. All right, the 450.46 level. And why is that? Because we've had support on it yesterday in the pre-market. We had resistance on it on I guess Wednesday. It is a pretty vital area coming into today's session. All right, so this 450 level will have to hold. If we do hold that, we could see a retest of this 452 level, which is yesterday's high, and then we have to fight the 453. So a little bit of resistance right here that we need to get through. Once we get through that, we could see a nice move to the 453.73 area. And then above that, we're looking at 454.74 pivots, which is right up here. And then if and only if we can clear that, we really open up and can possibly see a move up towards this 458 level. All right. If we lose this, obviously, we're going to see a nice pull back to this old area of support, pretty good support area here at 448.50, 448.15. We lose that, we coming straight down to the 446 and ultimately the 445. All right. Now, if we take a look at the Qs, go back to the Qs. The Qs is slightly showing more weakness. All right, now take note of this chart right here that we have on the SPY. Now let's go to the Qs, right? So obviously yesterday, a slightly weaker day for Qs, and you know it was pretty relevant across the board, right? Tech was one of the sectors that was actually red yesterday. So on the Qs here, what we're looking at, guys, again we had a nice move. We hit this resistance area, and we're kind of struggling now. And in the pre-market, we're sitting under this 374 level. All right, we're sitting under this 374 level, and we really need to reclaim that level in order to track back higher. All right, so we do have room to get up to this 378.95 and possibly higher, but we got to get into the closer time frames and see what's really going on here. All right, we'll put our levels back up again. And this is what we're looking at, right? So just like the 450 level is the level to watch on the SPY, the 373 is going to be the level to watch on the Qs, right? Hold this level, we could track back to the 374, which we were already doing in the pre-market. Above that, we could retest this 374.98. Why? It was support. It was support all morning, all pre-market. And then once the support broke, it acted as what? Resistance, right? So that's what we're looking at here. If we can stay above this at the open, we could see a move to the 374.98 level, and that's going to be some resistance. However, if we do clear that, we see 376.56, which was a level of resistance again yesterday, and then above that 378, 379. Okay, ultimately, if we lose this 373 level, we do see a pull down to the 371.97, and then below that, there's a pretty big area of hollow space right here. And if we lose that, that's going to be the concerning issue here. If we lose that, we have a big gap to come down towards the 368. All right. So we'll be monitoring it to see what these levels do. If you guys are on the Discord, I have put out the levels already for you guys. You can monitor it that way. So with that said, now we've gone through the Qs and the SPY, I'm going to get into the chat, take some of your questions regarding some of the names that you guys want me to take a look at. I think I'll start with GILD because somebody mentioned GILD, maybe 3-bar play today. So the one thing with the 3-bar play, you have to kind of take into consideration this. You need a big explosive move one way or the other, which is fine. We have it on the red candle here. Now the second candle has to be only about 50% move, right? So that means if this candle is 67.50 and 65.78, you need a move of around 66.70, 66, 66 or so to be the 50% mark. That's fine. So this one popped back up a little bit. Sometimes it's not perfect like that. However, with this candle popping up and closing here, it actually devalidates the 3-bar play. Okay, if we take a look at what the 3-bar play was, let me see if I can pull it up here for you guys really quickly. So this was the 3-bar play, right? Now if you flip it around, you see that you have this big aggressive move. This move has to be at least 50%, flat, flat, and then the breakout. So here we have this move, flat, and then here, all right, not bad, flat, but this move here is what invalidates that 3-bar, or technically would be a 4-bar play, because today's day would be the 4th bar. All right, so hopefully that answers your question on GILD. Okay, let's take a look at down the list. What do you think about Woof and Goss? We'll take a look at Woof. Woof, not a bad chart here. Nice, we got that push into the resistance here, where we got this breakout of this resistance with pretty decent volume here, above average push, above average break of that volume, and we're kind of flagging above this area. So ideally, what you want to do, you can take this trade with stops right under the 2270, 2235 area, with the moving average being your stops, or you could wait for it to consolidate and take the flag break. And what do I mean by that? I mean, eventually this is going to have to form some sort of a pattern here, right? Whether it's a flag, whether it's a falling wedge, whatever the case may be, you want to wait for that pattern and take the breakout of the pattern, because the daily does have room. At bare minimum, you could see a move up to this 25 level, and then ultimately maybe towards this 26 level. Okay, so not a bad chart. I wouldn't jump in it right now personally. I'd wait for more of a flag, for more of a setup. Lots of indecision candles kind of happening here. We had a nice bullish one move here, and then not so much on yesterday's move. Okay, so just keep an eye on it. It's at 23.67. I would let it pan out, give a better entry, a pattern for you to enter the trade. Let's take a look at AMD. People are asking about AMD. So AMD's solid move, nice strong bullish move right after this earnings report came out a few months ago. Nice push into that 122 area, pulling back, and as soon as we came back and kind of retested this prior breakout area, which if I zoom out, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. This area right here, right? This was the high that it broke out right here with aggressive volume, and it took off. As soon as we came back to retest this high, look, buyers kind of started to step in again, and we had a nice move. What's AMD gonna do here now? I really wouldn't be trying to chase AMD up at these levels. I think we need to consolidate. We need to pull back before we can continue higher. I don't think there's much in it right now. You know, this breakout candle and then getting stuff like this could start seeing some weakness and essentially pull it back into the moving averages before it continues to move higher. So in the short term, I think it needs more time. I don't think it's ready. NVAX for reversal, please. NVAX. Let's take a look at NVAX. Big gap down on news yesterday. So one way you could play this is you can go long at the open, stops at 135, 134, or even 132.50 to be safe. But the reversal really starts happening over yesterday's high. If we get over that 148 level, you could see a push back up to the 51.98, and then ultimately fill the gap towards this 160 level. Okay, so those are two ways that you can play. You can try it off the long with the stops at the 132.50 with a move to the 146, but ultimately we need to get above this 200 moving average on the 10 minute, get above the 148, which clears yesterday's high, and then we can track back to the 152 and then ultimately the 160. All right, can check EPSL and ChargePoint broke the downtrend. Right. Take a look at EPSL. EPSL is sitting right at support here. It loses $8 and it's pretty much gonna fall. I feel like this is a name that's being pumped, if I'm not mistaken. So be really careful with this one. Under $8, we're gonna see a pretty nice flush in this, I think, to at least 788, and then lose the 788 level, and you're gonna come straight down to the 715. Not sure what you want to do with it at this point. If you're long already, if you're looking to buy, but I'd kind of stay away from this name right now. Lots of eyes are on it at this point. And ChargePoint. Is ChargePoint CHPT, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah. So ChargePoint finally popping its head back above the 50 moving average here. We have some resistance right at 21.50. We have some resistance at 21.93. And then above that, we could see a move towards the 23 and ultimately the 23.80. The issue with these charts is bag holder city. In the short term, not a bad setup here. This can be considered a 3-bar play right here, and I'll show you guys why I mean that. We have a nice move up. We have another move that kind of gets in the 50% mark, and we have a flat top right here, right? Not a flat top, but you know, clear resistance area. Over the 21.26, you should get that nice push to the 21.50 level. I mean, not much range there, but if that's something you're interested in trading, you could do that. 21.26 will push you up to the 21.50, and then ultimately you can try to track back to these 21.93 levels. Okay, but I would wait for the 21.26 level to break out. All right, COF going into earnings next week, holding a lot, but on edge to dump going into earnings. Thoughts? Okay, COF. Take a look at COF. Capital One Financials. All right, nice little breakout here. Earnings quite a few days away here. All right, so here's my thoughts on COF. Okay, financial names have been doing fairly well. You have a multi-week consolidation here that broke out to the upside, right? You do have room to 176.11, and then above that 177. Ideally, the safe play is take profits before earnings, especially if you're telling me you're holding a lot. Now, if your game plan was, you're in this for the long term, then, that's something you might want to consider. You might think, you know, I'm here for the long term. I don't really care what the earnings says because I'm not looking to sell this for, you know, another few years. However, if you just bought it and you know you recently got into it and your plan is to take profits, I think with this breakout coming in with a little bit of more volume here, I think we do see 176 either today or tomorrow. I think you should see that level, and if you do see 176, you could probably take some off and then see what happens. If it pushes to the 177.95, take even more off there. And ideally what you want to do, if you want to hold into earnings, hold very small size into earnings. Don't hold big size, because if this thing, you know, decides to do bad, then it could really well come down. But overall, I think financials have been doing fairly well right now. I think somebody's asking about PLTR. Take a look at PLTR. PLTR, the importance of moving averages, man. So we talked about this, right? We came up, we hit resistance, right? We couldn't hold up there. We lost all moving averages again, and what's happening here? We're acting as resistance to these moving averages. Right here, we pop up, bam, reject. We slowly grind it up, and now we're rejecting again. So I think this pulls back down right to the 23. I think this comes right back down to the 23, and I wouldn't be interested in this unless we get back above the 25.30. In the short term, I think we lose these levels and we try to hold this 23 level, and you know, if we lose that, we got room to kind of fall towards the 21.71 level. What about Goss? I guess I missed Goss. I got too excited about Woof. I don't even know what these guys do, to be honest with you. Don't like these candles that it's putting in here. I don't know what you're looking to do this. You're looking to trade this on the short term. There's really not much setup here. You know, we're just having a straight fall down. It is on lower volume, so maybe you can possibly look at it. I don't like how it's putting this reverse hammer in here. I think under the 1270 area, it can see a nice flush back down to the 1180. And then if it loses that, it might come back down to this area of like $10.60, $11 area. Maybe that's where you can look to consider to kind of take this on the long side. But at the moment, I wouldn't take this on the long side here. I would wait. Not the prettiest chart at these levels here. Thoughts on you or PayPal? Do you see any trend for short-term trades? U was good. U was good, but this rejection yesterday puts it in a bearish engulfing. So this body gets swallowed by this body. In the short term, I don't think there's much in U. So I just think it needs to consolidate more to show us a pattern here. But other than that, this pop here and then just selling off like that all day yesterday is not a good look. So not something that I would trade in the short term here. PayPal, I'm waiting for this thing to kind of break down here. I don't think PayPal is ready to go long. A lot of people were buying that news yesterday, and they're putting themselves in the habit of buying falling knives. But to me, that's not a day with this massive red volume. It's not a day that I want to get involved in on PayPal, especially when we're below all moving averages here. I will be looking for further downside on PayPal if we can get under the 251.50 level, because then we have room to kind of really flush down to the 235. So I will be watching this for under the 251.50, but in the short term, you would never catch me falling. You would never catch me catching a falling knife. So again, no short-term play on PayPal here either. Tesla, please. All right. Tesla. So, earnings report came out. Not much of a firework earnings. Pretty average. They met numbers, just beat them by barely. Coming into the 878 level, we talked about this I don't know how many times. I said Tesla will have room to the 878. It's all about support and resistance, guys. That's all it is. We broke 821, and we launched to 878. There's nothing in between for resistance for people to sell. Where are people selling? 878. That's exactly where we saw resistance. All right, now this mediocre earnings comes out. What's next? I think under the 850, Tesla really opens up and tries to retest that 821. Under this 850 level, I think Tesla will open up and try to backtrack. You know, it's pretty explosive moves on the way up here. So with explosive moves on the way up, it leaves hollow spaces on the way down. So I think under the 850 level, we get a nice flush down on Tesla. And that's what I'm looking at on Tesla here. All right. Tesla's pulling back today. Yes, no problem, Justin. Mara. Let's take a look at Mara. So again, Mara coming into that 57 area and rejecting. Not a pretty candle here. What I'm looking for is 52, 55 break for a move lower, and we've already gotten that pre-market, which is not cool. But yeah, 52, 50. Yeah, so ideally we had this hammer here, very bearish look, and I wanted it to go short under 52.50. We broke that pre-market here, so I have to kind of watch what's going to happen. I think maybe possibly under the 51.50 now is going to be the level to get that flush to the 50. Okay, I wanted it under 52.50 for a nice flush. We got that right here. We got that flush of the 52.50, came back, retested it. We should see another leg down and lose the 51.50 for a move lower. All right, computer's glitching out here. BTC, where is it headed? I think we talked about BTC in the Discord. I don't got much levels on BTC other than I think I mentioned I can't remember what I said about BTC, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. It's something stupid like 50, like 75K or something. That's where the fibs show, anyways. I don't have the BTC chart on my Thinkorswim, so I can't pull it up for you. But if you ask me later, I'll pull up TradingView and I'll do it for you there. Do you think we will see an alt season after Bitcoin? I don't really care what alts decide to move, to be honest with you. You guys, if you're trading altcoins, you gotta kind of be careful with some of them. But I think the main ones are ADA, ETH, from as far as I know. I don't really trade crypto, but with altcoins, you guys always gotta be careful. So, Neo, Snap, QS. Alright guys, we'll go over these, and then remember, every Thursday we'll back here. Sometimes we'll go over charts like this, sometimes we'll talk about some sort of specific trading technique or pattern that you guys can use to educate yourself. All right, Snap, not much here. Sideways consolidation, needs a break over 79 for a move higher, or a break under 73 for a move lower. I wouldn't touch that. Not here, not right now anyways. Too choppy for me, not something that I want to get involved in. Neo, nice push, trying to hold these support levels. Doing a great job staying above that 39.65 and closing above it. I think we kind of round around here and push back up and attempt this 41 level. And you know what, actually let me remove this. I don't know where this level came from. Sometimes you gotta update your levels. That's the most recent one, right? So keeping an eye on this one, we could really curl around and start hitting that 41.19. So that's the level that I'm going to be watching as soon as it does turn around. Pretty decent candles here, but waiting to see if we can break above the 40.30 or even the 40.88 for a move higher. The last one here, we'll take a look at QS before I head out. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in. Go ahead and smash the like button if you guys are here. And we'll check you back every Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. QS, I like. Over 25.35. I think it gets a nice push. Nice hollow area up top to get through at least 27 would possibly be the next area here to kind of get through. Okay, 25.35, 25.40 will give you a nice push to that 27 level in the days to come. So keep that as well. No problem. Thank you guys. All right, Dave. Neil just hit resistance level. Is fighting or stay over $40. 3 weeks should hit 45. Look at Discord under crypto chat and search BTC message. Shorter and comments and all there. Yes, perfect. All right, guys. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in. I gotta get back to the room, get ready for market open, and we'll catch you guys all next Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Love you all, and have a wonderful one.